everybody, thanks so much for listening. We have a special treat on, and this is Philip Smith. If you've been watching the program, you saw him before. He's talked a little bit about his book, but we kind of, Philip, dabbled into all kinds of things because you have so many stories to tell. I remember last interview, we talked about the book, we talked about the housing market. I think we kind of dabbled into terrorism too. So we kind of hit every aspect in the kitchen sink. And I know you said you were involved in Afghanistan, but we're going to try not to have a 3-hour interview because we can always bring Philip back on. So, so we're going to do that. But Philip, first of all, thanks so much. If you are listening to this podcast, wherever you are around the country, around the world, please like, subscribe, and share. This is going to be one hell of an interview. So definitely, again, like, subscribe, and share. Philip, thanks so much for coming on. It's always a pleasure. I love talking to you, and I love hearing your stories.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right, Philip, so let's get back into the book again, because like I said, we kind of went everywhere, here, there, and everywhere, I guess would be the correct terminology for that. But we'll get back into the book. Can you tell people a little bit, firstly, about the idea behind the book?
Okay. The reason I started writing the book was last year during the quarantine. My wife, I got married a couple years ago for the third time to a lady who I've known for 20-something years. She's a doctor and a surgeon. We finally got our act together where we were both available for the right time, and we got married. I'm the happiest guy in the world because of that. That's a whole other story. But I needed to go to Moscow and sell my flat because I had a flat in Moscow. I lived there for 20 years. So I went up there, sold it, then took a trip to the United States to collect all of my stuff that was at different places, my brothers, my daughters, other places, and then shipped everything out of Moscow either to the States or to Kyrgyzstan, which is where we were going to buy a place to live. And while I was gone, my wife was looking for flats. She found one. When I got back, she said, "We're going to go on a honeymoon." I said, "Okay, where are we going to go?" She didn't tell me. But she said, "Before we go, I want you to look at a flat." So I looked at it, we bought it, or I agreed, and I said, "Okay, now where are we going?" She said, "Well, we're going to take for a week, and we're going to go to the Maldives just for honeymoon and her birthday and International Women's Day all the same week." And it was fun. So we come back, we get off the airplane, and we went to the proper registry the next day, closed on the flat, cash. I don't know if you've seen a stack of $110,000 in cash, but it's a nice pile of money. And the guy counted every bill, which was interesting. But the next day, we moved our stuff into the flat from the old flat, and the airport closed. We were quarantined. From that day for the next 6 months, I was on the outside of the flat 8 times during the entire period. And I'm sitting there thinking, now what am I going to do? And I started working on some of my books that I had started previous years. But then I got this idea that because I basically have been blessed and been lucky to be able to make some good investments and have a decent pile of cash. We owned a flat with no mortgage. We don't owe anybody in the world anything. And I'm comfortable, and I have pensions. I don't have to work, but I never wanted to stop work. So we just said, okay, let's, she's a doctor. She's going off helping and treating people with COVID, and she got it herself. Fortunately, nothing came of that. But for that 6 months, one of the things I did was I thought, all of these ideas, everything that has made me what I am today, might not be a bad story to put together. And as we talked about last time, I started out, I didn't want to really talk about me. I wanted to talk about what I did that other people could do to make their life better. And the book starts out in chapter 1 about me because I died 3 times in the hospital in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan. They brought me back 3 times, fortunately. And I lost my right eye in Iraq when I was there from a sniper attack, the result of me being pushed around in the Jeep and my head bouncing off the metal floor. And I put those things together thinking, I came back. I didn't have any problem attempting to come back. I started out with not very much. We were not poor, but we never had anything. We always had enough food because we had a big garden and we had animals, and we had wild animals where we lived in Western Maryland. So we always had fresh meat. If we wanted something, we went and hunted it and skinned it and ate it all during the winter. So we didn't know we were poor until we started going to school. And as I was telling my friend today, each September I'd get a pair of jeans and 2 shirts. Well, I wore the jeans every day, and I wore a shirt every other day. And in between, we wash them. And I didn't realize the effect of that. Like, I'm in the 7th and 8th grade, and the guy sitting beside me wears a different shirt every day for 3 weeks. It's like, I'm not sure I like that. I wish I had it. And it gave me incentive to work. And I started working. I worked full time when I was in high school, 40 hours a week, and never took a book home. A lot of those experiences made me stronger.
Right.
And then I started thinking about the way things happened with me. I went back to my background and laid it out in about 250 pages for another book. And I thought, well, some of this stuff can be used to teach people how to make themselves better. Because I think that I've done reasonably well, and I'm not a bad guy. And I've done some relatively nice things, like help create 10,000 jobs in the last 15 years and donate a lot of money to different causes and to help different people. And because of what had happened, I thought, well, this might make a decent story. So I started writing it, and it took me less than 30 days to finish it. The book is not terribly thick. I'm not sure how well you might see that, but it's not a thick book, but it's 130 pages of experiences and things that if you decide you want to make those changes, you will change. When Jack Canfield wrote the endorsement, or when he spoke to me during an interview, he said, when you read Phil's book, you will change. Now, coming from somebody like Canfield, that's not too bad. Someday I might sell as many as him, but I don't think I'll ever reach that point. But if I sell a good number of the books, that's great. And the other thing we decided as we were putting this together, we did it first in Russian, and it's being sold in Central Asia in Russian. Then we did it in English and expanded it a little bit, and it's now on sale in Ghana, and it's for sale on Amazon. And we also have a batch of books at my business in America, so that if somebody doesn't use Amazon, they can send me an email and we can make sure they get a book. So we went through it. We did edits. We did a serious number of presentations, and finally in July of this year, we finally got it on Amazon and started selling it. The advantage to me is that one of the things that I do with each company that I am a part owner of, we take 20% of the top gross income, not the net income after expenses, but if we sell a book for $10, $1 or $2 goes into set aside account for charity, right off the top before anything else. I'm not looking to get rich. I'm looking to sell a lot of books. I'm looking to help people because I have discovered some relatively good secrets about, well, not secrets, methods, and the methodology that I use to be comfortable, the methodology I use to change negative to positive. I was always an optimist. I now made room for a lot more optimistic and positive things because I got rid of the negative garbage. I don't carry baggage around. I reduced my stress to almost nothing. I can show anybody how to do that. I could show you within 3 or 4 minutes how to do that. And tomorrow morning, you feel better. It's just that easy. Doesn't cost anything. Well, might cost the price of the book, but you got to remember that 20% of that's going to charity too.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's sort of where we are. I am enjoying it. So far this year, we've set aside about $10,000, and the book on Amazon is $16.99. It happens to be exactly 100 local currency, 100 CDs, which is a local currency equivalent, and we're selling it for the same thing here. Here, we're donating 10% of that money that we raise is going to the National Cathedral of Ghana, which is an all-faith, all-religion cathedral for everybody, the Muslims, the Christians, and anybody else in this country. It's a couple $100 million project. It's on the way, and if we can be successful selling books here, a lot of that money is going to go, $300,000 or $400,000 could easily go into the fund for the. It's a nice contribution. I'm not going to be paying for the cathedral, but what I try to do is to show people what they can do. The examples that I give are examples that I can tell you how to reduce your stress, and it works. I can tell you how I can take control of your mind. I know how to do that. It's easy. And by taking that example, then you say, wow, that does work. It is easy to change your thought process to do something negative or to do something positive. Your mind doesn't know if it's negative or positive. So if you put positive stuff in and no negative stuff, it makes it much easier. You got to love yourself. And I love myself. I think I told you last time, I get up every morning, I look in the mirror, I laugh, I smile, and I say, well, you don't look too bad for being 76 years old. And I enjoy it. I walk. I don't walk a lot, but I do some. I do some exercise. I'm on a great diet. I've lost over 100 pounds. And since I talked to you last time, 2 weeks ago today, I stopped smoking. I started smoking when I was 11. I stopped for a while, but for 54 years, I actually smoked. No more. I just plain stopped. I haven't had a cigarette since. I wouldn't say that I didn't want one, but I'm not going to go buy any more cigarettes. But that's part of taking control. I just took control. I said, I don't need it. And I don't.
Why do you feel like so many people struggle to take control of their mind?
They don't know how easy it is. In my opinion. Let me give you an example. I don't know if we did this last time. Take a lemon, cut it in half, hold it, close your eyes, visualize this lemon being cut in half, and you have half of it, and you got some juice on your hand.
Right.
And then take that half and cut it in half again. Now you have a quarter. Now take it and put it in your mouth and just close your lips over top of it. Your saliva glands are working. You can taste that lemon. Do you taste it? Open your eyes. Your saliva glands are still working. That's how easy it is to control your mind. That's all we were doing. You can do the same thing with your own mind. I went through everything that I could think of that was negative in my life. And I said, well, I don't need that anymore. I had boxes and boxes of stuff that I threw away that I was no longer interested in. They were just memories of stuff. I got the memory up here. I don't need something in paper or some photograph to keep reminding me of it. But I can take care. I took total control of my brain. I laugh, I smile, I praise myself, I compliment myself, and then I start thinking big outside the box. There is no box that can contain all of my thoughts. I have crazy thoughts. I have some of the craziest things that people might ever think could happen. I have lived very well. I have had the Mercedes two-seater sport car. I wanted one when I was a kid because my uncle had one, and I had it. I drove it back and forth across the United States 4 times. Loved the car, but that was one of those things that I no longer needed. I don't even have a car now. I know what it's like to be comfortable. I know what it's like to walk into a store and buy something without looking at the price tag because I don't have to worry about it. And that's how I approach it. On the other hand, I also go help as many people as I possibly can to help them start a business and give them my business as they continue to grow, whether they're selling tomatoes or whether they're sewing clothes or whatever they're doing. I do what I can to help them start so that they have a new start and can help somebody else. And then we pass it along. And we've done that a couple of times. It works well. Some of the things that I have done in the past to help other people, it's amazing to me that years later, that something will come along where they'll help me. They just come out of nowhere and all of a sudden they help me. Right. So it's a lot of it's positive thinking, and I'm happy with it.
My question is to end the interview. You've talked about so many great things that you do for people that you don't even know, not to mention the people that you do know as a business owner, but also just as a regular everyday person. What kind of hope would you give to people to end the show that are suffering, that maybe, have, they're in a down place, like you said, is the people that your wife are working with. They're in that downward spiral down. So leave us with some hope about that.
I would try, I tell everybody they need to plant some seeds. Whether it's 1 seed or 2 seeds or 3 seeds, do something little to help somebody, and then do something again and again and again. And you're going to, what will happen is that's going to come back. You're going to be able to harvest that, and it's going to start creating abundance for you. And it has for me. I wasn't sure that would work because it's one of those things where when you look at the internet and all these different programs that talk about law of attraction and everything else, where they all say, well, you're going to manifest a financial abundance. Well, excuse me, but that's a certain amount of bullshit. What you have to do is you have to take care of yourself, take care of your body, get yourself in a position where you're comfortable. Once you start liking yourself, you're going to be amazed at how many other people like you. And if you don't like yourself, why would other people like you? So I try to tell people, like yourself, love yourself, show up in the morning, smile, laugh, enjoy your day, because when people see that, they're happy. And everybody gets happier, everybody starts working together, hopefully. I've got a week coming up with my folks here, a couple hundred people, where we're going to have a come to Jesus meeting, and we're going to be discussing some very significant issues about changes that are going to occur within this company here in Ghana. It's going to be interesting, and there won't be any lost jobs on the day of the meeting, but when I start looking at things and carving things and reshaping things, there are going to be some reassignments in other places. But there's a couple hundred people that are going to be involved. And my goal is to grow the number of people working, not decrease it. And when we're finished here, if we can get this plan done the way we want to, there will be 7,000 people that will have direct or indirect jobs from this job that I'm doing right now. And I can walk away and just smile. I don't get any of it. I just get a salary. So.
Well, anyway. I think you're doing amazing work, Philip. Definitely everybody is saw throughout the interview the book behind Philip again, for people that are listening. Just give us a little tease, Philip, again, where they can get the book in general.
Okay. All right. Our website is very easy. www.philipwaltersmith.com. Number one. We have social media. The book is available on Amazon. If you look at the website, you can click on the book and order the book directly through Amazon. If you don't like Amazon, you can send an email to me. If you're in the United States and we have your address, we'll send it to you. I didn't realize there are so many people that don't like Amazon until we started doing this. So we've got a few hundred books that we had them printed so that we would be able to do this, to take care of folks. When Jack Canfield reviewed it, he said, I would not be surprised if it's a bestseller. Well, I will be very pleased if it becomes one. And if your folks start buying the book and we start going up the Amazon's ladder, I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being reasonably successful, because it will make me happy with all the money that I can donate to charity. It's going to be great fun. So I encourage everybody to go out and get it. And the name of the book again is You Are the Most Important, The Road to Everything You Want in Life. And I have not met anybody who didn't like it when they read it. And we're getting comments every day. We're going to be delivering 500 copies to a boys' high school next week. All the 10th, 11th, and 12th graders are going to get a book, including all the teachers. And we're going to have two meetings, one with the teachers, one with the kids, so that we can show them how these kids, at least, this 500 kids can benefit. And then we'll go to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And we hope it'll be successful.
I hope so too. I think people can learn a lot from this book. This is not going to be the last time if he's able to come on. We definitely want him back. Philip Smith, you have so many stories. Every time you come on, I just learned something new. I know the viewers learn many things new. So like I said, the invitation is out there. If you'll come back, we'll definitely love to have you on. And I appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much, Rob. I appreciate the opportunity to share everything.